on the last video.
I yield. Your skills have improved tremendously, Akihiko.
Yours too. I was really worried there that you might execute me.
And so, we continue. Hey there guys, LOI Games. I'm back with some more Persona 4 Arena. Where we last left off, Akihiko punched himself through a wall, and now we're going to continue onward.
I wish you good luck.
Thank you, Margaret. Battle is over. I glance down at Mitsuru. She keeps her firm expression and opens her mouth.
I yield. Your skills have improved tremendously, Akihiko.
Thank you.
Yours too. I was really worried there that you might execute me.
Mitsuru gives me a smirk. That's the Mitsuru I know. So her odd behavior prior to the battle was all of the general's work. I wonder.
Mitsuru, what did I say to you before the fight?
Huh? Why do you ask? As I recall, you said some unkind things about my late father.
Yes, Sadie. I knew it. Of course, I have no memories of saying such things because I didn't say them. The general's probably got some trick that warps the opponent's reality so that good friends will hate each other. Maybe it was all an illusion. I don't understand how it all works, but there's one thing that I'm absolutely certain of. Mitsuru and I turn towards the monitor and smugly smile at the general. His little gimmick was completely useless. General Teddy can barely contain his hatred as he responds.
How? How can you fight without holding back like that? People hesitate more when they face their friends. They break down. They suffer.
Not all the time.
So how come you aren't suffering? Why? I don't understand.
I'm not surprised. Anyone who needs to trick people to get his way wouldn't understand. Our bonds aren't that flimsy.
Exactly. After the general's glowers at us, the communication cuts off. Suffer, huh? The general was going on about making us suffer earlier. Is that why he has us all fighting here? To make us suffer? But then, why would he steal Lapras?
Akihiko, let's compare notes. I want to confirm our situation.
Sure thing.
Right. Although I don't have much for you.
I give her a summary of everything I figured out up to this point. Since Mitsuru's persona has a search ability, I'm sure she's been able to gather much more information than I have. She seems to already know everything that I've discovered, so Mitsuru then fills me in on what she's learned. I guess it's safe, though neither of us has encountered her. All the high school students in the commercial seem to be Persona users, and the general seems to have gathered Persona users into this world. Unfortunately, neither of us know what his intentions are. But, more importantly, where's Lapras?
Did you find Lapras?
Iga seems to have made contact with her.
That's good to hear.
She seems to be calling herself the student council president of the school. In fact, she's going so far as to play the part.
Play the part?
She seems to be unaware that she entered a TV.
Yeah, that happens.
It's possible that someone forced her in here, but that doesn't explain why she's acting out a role in school life.
I have no idea. What that could be about right now. This place is a school, but it's still just a copy of a school in another world. What kind of school life could possibly be here?
And one more thing. I heard a strange voice. I'm not certain, but it's most likely Lapras. Either her inner thoughts or her memories.
And they said?
It was a voice of deep sorrow, suffering, sadness. It was so vivid I wanted to cover my ears.
Mitsuru cast down her eyes as if relieving the pain. A great portion of Ergo research data was lost because of the actions of the former researcher. He was the mastermind behind the event 3 years ago. All of this must be mortifying for Mitsuru. That man is the reason why her family, was taken from her.
If that was truly Labrys, then she's practically human. She may not be that far behind Aegis in terms of mimesis.
Yep.
Sure, Aegis' sister unit would have a mind. But does that mean the older version is more advanced?
Doesn't seem likely, but I can't say for certain. Still, I'm only speculating, but I feel like her deeply negative emotions are connected to this tournament.
Somehow.
Connected how?
Do you really think Labrys was stolen? The general seemed to want to make us suffer rather than eliminate us. Would a thief wish for that? Or draw in unrelated high school students?
You do have a point.
I see. That General Teddy's actions do seem in line with what Labrys wants. He actually may in fact be Labrys.
It's possible that Labrys regained consciousness much earlier and escaped when she was being transported.
I can't deny that possibility right now. But there's something else I do know.
Mitsuru, you're doing your brow furrowing thing again.
What? That doesn't matter right now.
You're overthinking things. All this conjecture and speculation will drive you nuts. Let's pick this up again once we defeat the enemy.
Mitsuru has always been like this. She imagines worst case scenarios and haven't even happened yet, and burdens herself coming up with a contingency plan based on them. Even though she doesn't necessarily stop moving forward, it certainly does weigh her down. Sometimes we need that hard-headedness, but there's a time and a place for it.
Ever think that maybe it's you who's underthinking things?
Anyway, there's no time to lose right now. You know where the enemy is, right?
Yes, I've traced its location. It should be nearby. I will leave the rest to you, Akihiko. Don't disappoint me, alright?
Never. As Mitsuru says those words, her expression softens a bit. It seems that I've been able to reach her.
Of course not.
Mitsuru has grown as well. In more places than one. I mean, she's changed since that battle 3 years ago. Now that I think about it, a lot of time has passed since then. None of us have really remained standing in the past. We've all changed. I part ways with Mitsuru and hurry on ahead. According to Mitsuru's research, the enemy seems to be nearby. The enemy is waiting for their encounter with us as well. Well, that's one wish I won't mind granting at all. Just as I reach the top of the stairs, I hear a loud noise punctures the atmosphere. Is someone on a rampage with their persona? No, that's not it. It's the sort of sound that a massive object creates upon impact. I hear it again coming from the room ahead. There are no invisible walls to prevent me from making my way towards the sound, and I finally reach my destination.
The announcement room. Here we go.
The monitors and PA system must have been controlled from this room. I grab the door handle, but it won't open. This is different from those invisible walls. However, it's just an ordinary door. Sorry if there's a broadcast going on, but I'm going to have to punch my way in. I smash through the door and enter the room.
Whoa! It's that red cape guy I saw earlier!
Hello. Everyone inside immediately wheels around to face me. There are 2 female students before me. One of them I recognize from the video, but the other one is an unfamiliar face. It's my first time seeing her, but I immediately know who she is. She looks like a regular person aside from the mechanical parts. It's Labrys. And General Teddy.
So it wasn't Labrys after all.
Immediately, General Teddy, who glares at me, begins to change.
I am a shadow. The true self.
Another Labrys.
Well, this is completely unexpected. Can't even come up with a reason for why something like this would occur. Maybe this is another one of his illusions. No, if that were true, what I'm saying would be more direct assault on my inner thoughts. I started inventing and discarding possible reasons for what's happening. Eventually, I just cast aside all my theories. I take a deep breath and calm myself. What is my objective? I was summoned to retrieve Labrys and to prevent any danger from spreading. It doesn't matter if there's 1, 2, or 21 of her. My initial objectives are unaffected, and I will give everything I have to complete my mission.
Fine. I'll just calm them both down.
I taunt both of them as they menacingly stare daggers at me.
Why did it have to be now? Who the hell are you?
A person.
We've come to take you in. Would it clear things up if I mention the name Kirijo?
One Labrys looks at me and yells in rage, but the other one recoils in fear.
No! I'll never go back there!
Crap, she ran off.
Damn it, get back here!
The other one dashes after the first one. I immediately try to pursue them, but
Hey, wait a second! Who are you?
I'm Spider-Man. The remaining girl in the green warm-up jacket stops me. If I recall correctly, she was the female student introduced as a carnivore in the
I need
commercial.
to go after them. You're better off forgetting what you just saw.
Better off.
Wait! You can't just...
She appears to be uninjured, and I can't lose time dealing with her. I ignore her and book it after Labrys.
Hold it right there, Buster!
That voice. She caught up with me though I'm running at full sprint. She must be quite an exponential athlete. I can't drag her into this. This is my duty. Should I run even harder? That might cause me to redline my heart rate, and that would deaden my legs from upcoming fights. Or should I convince her to leave? Unfortunately, it seems that both of those options have been taken off the table now. I wrap my fist where there is nothingness, resistance, another invisible wall. Looks like this is the enemy's way of buying time. Sure enough, the female student catches up to me. She confronts me as if she tries to regain her breath.
You're gonna tell me what's going on!
So she wants an explanation. There's no harm in telling her what's going on, since she and her friends are already caught up in this mess, but there's no need for them to learn details about it. If they just return to the real world, they can get out of this mess while keeping relatively normal
What
lives.
good would that do you?
What?
I'm here on a certain mission. You could even call it a duty. My resolution is nothing like yours, based on curiosity.
A duty?
I hit the invisible wall.
Ridiculous Grand Prix is still going on.
What? Wait, you mean...
That girl hurried and reached out to at the space behind her. As I expected, her hand hits the invisible wall as well. That wall didn't exist when I first passed through that area.
We're trapped. So, do we...
Yeah, we have to fight.
That's what you get for coming after me so recklessly. The rule that one opponent must be defeated is still in effect.
Chie doesn't think things through a lot. She may be a girl and a student, but I don't intend to go easy on anyone as long as I have a mission to complete. I unleashed the aura that instantly silenced so-called tough guys all around the world. I was hoping that she would quietly back down before I had to go this far. But even though my aura dampened the girl's resolve a bit. She didn't even take a step back.
All right, I accept.
Huh. Why are you willing to go to such lengths to catch up to Labris?
I don't know why. I just know that she was in pain. I don't know if my reasons are better or worse than yours, but I can't turn my back on her.
The foolish words of a child. But there's a fire in her eyes that makes up for her lack of reason. She's much better company than stupid people who insist in blabbering on. She's definitely piqued my interest a bit.
All right. To answer your question, what you saw was the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris. She was given a heart so she could use a persona.
A weapon? Then she really is a robot.
Yep.
But she's so cute. And she even sounds like a normal girl.
She has a perplexed look on her face. Even though she already seen those mechanical arms and legs, it must be hard to believe that a robot could be that lifelike.
So that's what her lost memories were about. And since she has a heart, she has a shadow too.
She has a shadow? Do you mean the thing where there's 2 of her?
Yeah. The girl does her best to explain the structure of the TV world to me. The world inside the TV apparently mirrors the feelings of those who enter it, and its appearance changes accordingly. She tells me that the fake school was most likely created from Miss President Labris' psyche. She also explains that the repressed inner thoughts within oneself separate inside the TV world to become a shadow, and that those shadows try to kill their originators and replace them.
I get it now. The mastermind behind all this isn't Labris, but her shadow.
Yep.
I think that's it anyway. But I wonder what's with this tournament. What could she have wished for to make this happen?
I have some suspicions about that.
We all do.
Labris may have been forced to do some inhumane things while she was in development. Her original circumstances may be related to the setup of this Grand Prix.
The girl goes pale upon hearing my words. Such a tale would be unimaginable for those living ordinary lives.
This tournament is a reenactment of what Labris went through in her past?
In short, yes. Even Mitsuru doesn't know that for sure. If there's anyone who can claim to, it would be Labris herself.
That's all I can tell you. If you still want to search for her, you'll have to defeat me to move on. What'll it be?
The girl swallows her tongue for a moment. But it isn't because of her fear or hesitation. I could tell from the look in her eyes she made up her mind.
If Labris wished to make us go through what she went through, that means she wanted to be understood. She wanted someone to save her.
That's just your guess, though.
But if it's possible I'm right, then I can't abandon her. That's why I won't go back until I've saved her. Her heart is worth fighting for.
Save, huh? Her eyes tell me that she completely believes that what she's saying.
What's your name? Mine's Akihiko Sanada.
I'm Chie Satonaka, a 3rd year at Yasogami High.
I like the fire in your eyes.
Let's go.
Then let's fight and see whose passion comes out on top.
Place a bookmark here. Alright. Let's go. Take that. I don't have time to waste on you. Place a bookmark there. That was anticlimactic, I know it was. And I think I'll end it here, guys. Anyway, like and favorite if you enjoyed. Subscribe to become part of the archives, and I'll see you all later. Peace